Yo, it's me, KD. That's such a shitty intro. That doesn't matter. I've been slacking a little bit, though, because I had stuff to do. Not really. I just didn't feel like uploading. So, to make it up, not that I actually have to, uh, I'll double upload today. This series will be coming to an end today for for season 1 at least, until season 2 comes out, which is going to be a minute. So yeah. And yeah, after this, it's either What If I Was in High School DxD, remaking that. It's going to be different than the last one, and I'm actually going to try to finish it, or something else that I had an idea of later, that I had an idea of a while back. I'm not sure yet. It's either going to be a High School DxD What If, or a Naruto What If after this series. So yeah, or a Black Lagoon What If. I don't know. I guess I'll figure it out later. Well, we're gonna go ahead and start this final part of the season for What If Itachi was in Mushoku Tensei. Uh, we start this episode off as we see Itachi Grey Rat standing in front of his younger brother, as there would be a large hole in his stomach. Around them, they would be in a large cave sort of area with snow everywhere, as Itachi would be looking at his assaulter to see a man with white hair or gray hair and yellow eyes glaring at him, as he would have blood all over his fist that would be slightly outstretched as if retracting his hand. Itachi would spit blood as he would begin to fall downwards towards the ground. All that Itachi could slightly hear was the muffled screams of his companions. His younger brother, Rudios, as Arius would be yelling too. Rudyard would be unconscious after attempting to fight the assaulter. His servant of sorts, but not really, Kori for short, would also be yelling out his master's name. We're going to minutes later before this encounter, as we see Itachi and his group, as this is a few weeks after Itachi met up with them after rescuing Aisha and Lilia. They would be walking in that same cave with the snowstorm going on, while their clothing would be blown in the wind. As they would be walking, everybody but Itachi and Rudios would stop in their tracks. No. As this would have happened, Rudios and Itachi would look around a bit confused as to what could have stopped their companions in their tracks like that. All of a sudden, Itachi would immediately feel a very strong presence that is familiar to him, as he would look forward to see the same white-haired man with yellow eyes and rather built in a winter coat walking towards them with a black-haired girl and a mask on her face. As they would be walking by, Orsted would immediately recognize Itachi, as he would stop after having walked past them. Rudeus would have called out to him, asking who he was. The man would answer, "Isn't it more polite to answer with give your name before asking someone else's?" Rudeus would nod and say, "Well, I am Rudeus Greyrat." The man would narrow his eyes at Rudeus as he would say, "Rudeus Greyrat. The only Greyrats that I am aware of are Paul Greyrat and his two daughters, and Zenith Greyrat, along with the maid. There's also Aries Greyrat right there, and Rudyard disappeared. Though I am not aware of you." As he would then send a glare towards Itachi, as he would say, "I am very well aware of you, though, Itachi Greyrat." As Itachi would immediately tense, pushing Rudeus backwards. Rudeus would fall on his ass as he would be looking at his elder brother in confusion, only to see sparks as he would see Itachi, along with Rudyard, holding off the men's attacks. Rudyard would be kicked in his stomach as he would go flying backwards. Itachi would continue to battle with him with his own sword, as the man would have been only using his hand, or his hands, surprisingly enough. As the man would be about to hit him, Ares would go for a slash down on the man's arm, almost taking it off completely, but the man would have moved his arm with an insane speed. No, as this would have happened, Rudeus would be completely shocked as he would run towards Rudyard to heal him. After healing Rudyard's wound, who is still unconscious, or he went unconscious after being kicked, but he's still unconscious now, Rudeus would then charge up a strong fire attack that would be shaking the area, as it would go from orange to blue to purple. This large flame would shoot towards the man as the man would chant something for a strange mirror-type object to appear in front of the man, as it would have two wyverns or drakes on each side, curling around the mirror, if you will, as the magic attack would be negated completely. Now, as this would have happened, Itachi would jump back, only for his only to feel severe pain in his stomach as he would look down. He would immediately be frozen in his spot as he would see a large hole in his stomach. He would look back up towards the man, as the man would be standing in front of him with an impassive look as he would say, "Tell the man god that dragon god Orsted sends his regards and that I'm hunting him." As Itachi would fall to his knees and land face first into the ground. Now, for those who are confused as to why Itachi just got absolutely folded like a beanbag chair, or a chair in general, it's because I've nerfed him a little bit too much, but it'll get stronger season 2, don't even worry about it right now. But, as Itachi would awaken in the white void once more, Itachi would be in his original life's form, as he would be looking at the man that was all white, as he would say, "Man god, I see, so I am dead." Man, my allergies are acting up. Whatever. Well, as the man god would smirk at Itachi and say, "Not exactly. You're alive. Think Orsted healed you." Itachi would look at the man god slightly shocked as he would say, "Why would he do that?" The man god would give an over-exaggerated shrug as he would say, "No idea. I think his companion said something about you being useful in the future, or something or another. I don't think it's very important, though." Itachi would slightly glare at the man god as he would say, "What do you mean that it is not important? This is very important." As the man god would just shrug once more. Now, since I'm feeling quite lazy right now, I'll just say that Itachi asked a couple of questions. Man god answered them, specifically about the dragon god Orsted and any of his companions. Gonna time skip now, as we see Itachi waking up. We see Itachi as he would be laying on the floor with the hole in his stomach. Well, no, a hole in his clothing, as Cody would be sitting next to him with a worried look on his face as Cody would see Itachi's eyes open as he would immediately yell out, "Master Itachi," practically grasping him for dear life as he is his savior. No, before y'all get any ideas, remove them from your head. It's not that kind of party. Alright, we don't do that here. It's all no homo here, alright? Anyhow. Now, as this would be happening, all of the party members of Dead End would immediately run over to where Itachi was. Now, to skip all that sappy garbage, we'll just say that everybody was happy Itachi woke up, all that, yada yada yada. They would have made it back to Rudios' village, only to see it in ruins. Rudyard would have parted ways with the group, saying that he needs to continue on and continue to fix the reputation of his people. After Rudios having an encounter with the man god in his dreams, and telling Rudyard that him shaving his hair and whatnot is removing the curse on his people that was placed on them. They would have made their way to a large camp, riding in on a horse, as Itachi would be on the front while Rudios and Eris would be behind him. Eris would call out Ghislaine's name as everyone would turn to see Ghislaine standing there, doing whatever she was doing. I don't remember, and I don't care. Well, Eris would jump off of the horse and immediately run towards her. Now, as we time skip a bit, we see Eris very upset over the fact that her entire family is dead, to her knowledge, having heard that her grandfather was executed under suspicion of him causing the Mana disaster. The head servant, I believe, or whatever he was, would have told Eris of something or another, pretty much sacrificing Eris for the kingdom. Rudios would be outraged, though Eris would send everyone out. Now, we see Rudios as he would be laying down in his tent. Eris would enter. Now, I'm gonna skip this scene, because, well, even if it wasn't showed in the anime, I'm pretty sure y'all know what's gonna happen. I mean, you wouldn't watch this if you didn't know. I mean, all I'm gonna say is Rudy got cheeks, alright? That's all I got to say. That's all you're gonna get. I'm not doing all that extra, alright? All I gotta say is Rudy got cheeks. Cousin or not. We go to the next morning, as Rudios would have been extremely happy. He would have came back into the tent after looking outside, only to see that Eris was not there, and see hair, red hair, all over the ground. And a letter, as the letter would say that Eris and Rudios are not compatible, and that she is left with Ghislaine on her own adventure. He would have gone to the head servant, and the head servant would have said that Eris told him not to tell Rudios about her departure. We see Itachi, as he would be standing behind Rudios, who was about to run out, or walk out, only to bump into him. Itachi would smile down at Rudios, as Rudios would say, Itachi? Itachi would nod as he would bend down to a knee and bring his hand out, as he would say, "Come on, little brother, you're looking quite pitiful right now." Come, tell me what has happened. As Rudeus would take his hand and they would walk off. We see Rudeus and Itachi sitting on top of a pillar in a pair of ruins of a building. Rudeus would be explaining that Ares left after he got cheeks, and that Itachi would burst out laughing slightly, as Rudeus would glare at Itachi and say, "What the hell's so funny?" Itachi would look at Rudeus as he would say, that is quite amusing, little brother. Though, I wouldn't be too worried about it. I mean, what is there to worry about? As long as I am here, and I will never abandon you. While you may have traveled with Ares and Rudyard had to leave for the betterment of his people. Ares left because, well, I don't know the reason that she left, and I do not believe it matters. Though, me and Kori will be with you this entire time. Rudeus would smile at his elder brother as the next day, Rudeus would be struggling with memories of his past life as we see a rather chubby boy in a high school uniform as 3 boys would cut the entire line at lunch as Rudeus, he would say that, didn't your elementary school ever teach you not to cut in line? Time skip to a different location as we see a basketball court as we hear the 3 boys who were trying to cut the line at lunch saying all sorts of things like, "Oh man, this pig is pretty durable," and "Man, this guy's so pitiful." Things like that. As we see Rudeus, as he'd have basketballs pelted at him, thrown at him. Why am I struggling so much? This illiteracy is really pissing me off. Well, anyhow, you'd be having basketballs thrown at him, as he would be cowering. After that, he would be tied to the front gate of the school, naked, as he would be completely humiliated. This would have caused him to become a shut-in and a NEET, never leaving his room, not talking to anyone. We now go to prison Rudeus, as he would be lying down. He would then be thinking about Zenith as cold room and water droplets could be seen in his mind. And he could hear his mother calling his name. No, that's where we're going to be ending What If Itachi was in Mushoku Tensei. I hope you enjoyed, and Season 2 will come out whenever Season 2 comes out. See you all next time. Well, probably later today. Well, anyhow, it doesn't matter. Merry Christmas, I guess. I don't know. Late Christmas, it doesn't matter. And if you don't celebrate, well, that's your own thing, I guess. I don't really celebrate either, personally. Later.